Taken.
Call to order the City Council meeting for the City of East Grand Forks for Tuesday, January 19th, 2020 is now 5 o'clock. Would City Clerk please call roll?
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Council President Mark Olstad.
Here.
Council Vice President Tim Riepel.
Here.
Council members Clarence Vetter.
Here.
Dale Helms.
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Mark Demers.
Present.
Brian Larson.
Here.
Does turn quorum. Administer oath for office for Council Member Mr. Vetter.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I may get you to stand, Mr. Vetter, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Clarence Vetter,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and faithfully perform and discharge
and faithfully perform and discharge
the duties as council member
the duties as council member
of the City of East Grand
of
Forks
the City of East Grand Forks
in the County of Polk,
in the County of Polk,
State of Minnesota,
State of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of minutes for January 5th organizational meeting, January 5th regular meeting, and January 12th work session. Moved by Riepel.
Second.
Second by Helms. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstad.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Scheduled bid lettings, none. Scheduled public hearings, there is none. Move on to the consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda will be adopted with one motion. However, council members may request individual items to be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion and action if they choose. Any members like 4 through 6 pulled? If not, entertain a motion of 4 through 6.
Move.
Moved by Vetter. Second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstad.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Acknowledge receipt of reports of officer boards and commissions. Number 7, regular meeting minutes of Water, Light, Power, and Building Commission for December 16th, 2020. Communication, there is none. Old business, there is none. Move on to new business. Consider adopting resolution 21-01-14 approving the changes to the pay structure for the paid on-call firefighters. Motion. Mr. Helms moved. Second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? Mr. Vetter.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thought about this over the last week. I guess I'm still not in favor of it. I think as soon as we say that we're going to pay someone for 2 hours, regardless of whether they're there for 10 minutes or 15, it's not going to be too many years down the line that we're going to come back and say, let's raise it to 3 hours and then 4 hours and so forth. I'm not opposed to giving raises, so let's just give a raise to their hourly wage. And maybe we can do something looking at, with all the training that they do, maybe pay for half their training or something like that up front to encourage people to join our volunteer force. So with those comments, I'll be voting no against this. Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments or questions? I see none. Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstad.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Vetter.
No.
Helms.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Claims, consider authorizing the city administrator clerk treasurer to issue payment of reckoned bills and payroll.
Yes. So move.
Moved by Johnson.
Second.
Second by Vetter. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstad.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Mayor Gander.
Thanks, Mr. President. First, I want to thank the EDA Board, Paul Gordy, Ron Galstead, for putting together the details of this forgivable loan program. It's going to help a lot with our businesses, and really appreciate the teamwork that came through all of this. Good interaction back and forth between the council and the EDA Board, and I think the final result is great. We're doing it right as far as being able to create the proper paper trail the right evidence trail and all the rest of it, for doing a good series of notes, but also doing it in a timely fashion to really get to the help to them when they need it. So thanks to everybody involved. Thank you also, Ron Galsted, for all that flurry of activity the final week to make sure all of our restaurants could have the opportunity to reopen along with each other on Monday the 11th. When that day came, everybody had the opportunity to reopen, and we're very, very thankful for that. I know it's a little awkward, but we can say thanks to the Minnesota Department of Health, Minnesota Attorney General, the Governor's Office, because that was a coordinated effort between them and each of those businesses to pave that way for it to happen. And I'm thankful for how it came together. Thank you to all the restaurants. As you reopen, everyone has a little different opinion of how they should use their PPE, but there really is one standard and we all need to go to it. So just thank you to everybody that's going to that standard. Now is a good time to just step in line and do that, and appreciate it very much. It's a good time to get back to serving customers, and one more step toward putting it behind us. We're not going to get complacent. We're not going to get sloppy, but we are going to eventually put this behind us, and I feel what's happening right now is a big step also in that direction. I think, let's see, there are probably some things I'm not catching, but that's probably good for today. Thank you very much.
Mr. Bitter.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Mr. Helms.
Thank you, Mr. President. As the mayor said, the EDA board did meet on Thursday. Spent a couple hours on this again, and I think we got a pretty good program come out of it. I'm going to read you kind of the criteria on here real quickly. The program is open to all businesses. Those businesses directly affected by Governor Walz's executive orders 20-99 and 20-103 will be prioritized. The business shall be located within the city limits of the city of East Grand Forks. The entity shall be open for business and operating in the city of East Grand Forks. The application deadline is January 29th, 2021. The loan shall be forgiven provided that the borrower conforms to the criteria established for the program. Failure to conform to the requirements of the program will result in default and require payback of the portion of the loan not forgiven. Upon default, repayment of the unforgiven portion of the loan shall be due immediately. No loan shall exceed $24,999. The total commitment of the EDA to this program is $260,000, as provided by the City Council. The loan shall be secured by a mortgage, personal guarantee, and such other collateral as is deemed appropriate by the EDA. The EDA reserves the right to approve or disapprove any loan and to determine the loan amount as its sole discretion. The applicant shall be current with all city obligations and property taxes. The criteria for forgiveness or default. The factors for determining forgiveness shall be the duration of time that the business remains in business and the number of people employed at the business. So we talked this over a lot. There was a 5-year discussed, there was 3 years discussed, or 1 year discussed, and we went to the 3-year. So after the end of the first year, they must maintain 25% of their employees that they had before this happened, and then 60% of that would be forgiven after the first year. The second year, they have to maintain 30% employees, and then another 20% is forgiven. The third year is 35% employees, another 20% to equal 100%, so after 3 years, it's done. We figured that the reason we raised the employees because we felt that if they can survive the first year, then the employees should be no problem for the next 2 years. The business shall remain in compliance with the executive orders issued by the governor. It shall be found in default if determined to be a non-compliance by an administrative or court decree. So the city and the EDA is not going to be involved in saying if they're compliant or not. It has to be done by the court. The business shall remain in compliance with the eligibility criteria, general standards, and criteria for forgiveness, default adopted for the program. If the business climate or situation changes, the EDA can revisit criteria for forgiveness. With that being said, again, as I said, we talked about this for a long time. There's been a lot of different loans out there. There's about 5 different programs going right now. That was the reasoning for delaying this for a week, 10 days, part of the reason, and the other part of it was we received this information on December 22nd that the EDA approved the money to give, or the city approved the money to give to the EDA. And then the holidays hit, so there wasn't a lot of time to get things done. So regardless of how people feel about how we handled the situation, I honestly believe that the EDA done an excellent job. I want to thank Paul and Ron and Carla. She was a big part of this. Josh and Daniel, which is the president and vice president of the EDA. We had an excellent discussion on this whole thing to get this set up and put together. And I want to thank them for getting it done, because I did promise you the last meeting that we would have it done so we could start getting this out. Paul has said he's going to start getting out the applications to businesses between today and tomorrow. I don't know how much he got done today, but he can maybe talk to that a little bit. So anyway, that's the reason why it was done the way it was done, and how it was handled was because of the fact of the time frame involved. I think, again, the EDA has worked hard at this and made it happen. So I want to thank them again. So, okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Mr. Riepel.
Nothing.
Mr. Johnson.
No, thank you.
Mr. Demers.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Mr. Larson.
Just real briefly, again, I'd like to thank the EDA and especially the loan committee for all your extra hard work and your dedication to public service here in East Grand Forks. It's really appreciated. And I'd just like to encourage everyone, now that our bars and restaurants are opening back up, let's get out and patronize our establishments here and help them get back on their feet. Thank you.
Everybody got an email from Nancy today. If you haven't seen it, take a look at it. It's for the land use plan. Make sure you get back to her. What your thoughts are, just go through it and respond to her or make an appointment with her, whatever you want to do. Give her a call. But please take time to do that. Also, next work session, we're going to have on there to discuss what we want to go over on the 27th, which is Legislative Day. If everybody can make it, please let Megan and Dave know that you'll be able to come. Department heads also. So we're going to do the Legislative Day by Zoom. And also we have working on getting meetings set up with some of the legislators. Of course, we're going to have Johnson and Keel. And I know Mr. Murphy has talked to them about who we should talk to on some things. So if he wants to base on that when we get to him, he can. Please, if you can make it, that'd be great. It's an opportunity that if you've never participated in it, we don't have to drive down there. We can do it from here, from the training room. So just let everybody know. Other than that, I don't have anything. How about Mr. Galstead? Do you have anything?
Thank you.
Mr. Murphy?
I have nothing tonight.
Mr. Emery?
Just to give you an update, I guess you haven't heard from me for a while. We do have 2 of our projects currently down, being reviewed by MnDOT. That'd be our Safe Road to School and our Demers Avenue project. We did get our annual ADA project sent out for quotes, so we'll be bringing that back to you guys. And then 2021 water main replacement project, we're going to be filing those plans tomorrow with the commission. So I guess we've worked pretty hard to try to get a lot of these projects down to MnDOT for review and or, kind of get them filed with you guys too, so we can get them out early this year, which will hopefully get us good bids. So just wanted to let you know that we're still around. So that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Anything from the department heads?
Yes,
Nancy,
sir.
We'll have Nancy go first, and we'll go to Mr. Gordy.
Thank you, Council President, for reminding
the council as well as the planning commission on the email. I really appreciate that. There will be a new survey that's going to be out on the website, and I will get it to all council members as well. Once that survey is out, should be by the end of next week. And then we're going to hold a public meeting in February, and I'll get that date out as well. And then last week you had talked about getting something on Channel 15, and so I am working with our consulting group, kind of do a commercial to discuss the website, the survey, other things that we can put up on Channel 15 to run periodically during the week and then before the council meetings as well. So I appreciate the council's effort to this point, and I'm looking forward to some good public input in the next couple of weeks. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Gordy.
Mr. President, members of the council, and Mayor, to follow up on Mr. Helms, this afternoon I sent the application and criteria out to all the businesses for whom we have email addresses. I also have updated the EDA webpage, and I have contacted our social media consultant, and she will be able to post that for us tomorrow.
Anybody else have anything tonight? Chief Bushy.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everybody. I just want to thank you for supporting and approving my request. This will go a long way in helping me try to achieve some of my goals here at the fire department, and my staff will appreciate it. Thank you.
Anything else from the department heads? Mr. Helms.
Thank you again, Mr. President. I just wanted to add one other thing to that EDA thing. We did this criteria, tried to set it up so it'd be simple and easy. Try and entice the business a little bit, make them feel a little better, let them know that the EDA in the city is here to work with them. And also was to be done so that it was absolutely done legal. So we don't have anybody coming at us about any of that stuff. And then one more thing I have is that I will be out of town next meeting, so I won't be here. So.
Anybody else have anything? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Moved by Helms. Second by Johnson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Meeting is adjourned.
Order.
I got a question for you. I was going to give you a call. So is that Louise?